Welcome to this presentation on Colombia, an emerging frontier of opportunities in the framework of PDAC 2021. My name is Juan Gomez and I am the Trade Commissioner responsible for oil and gas, mining, and responsible business conduct at the Canadian Embassy in Colombia. The mining sector represents 1.4% of the GDP and directly employs close to 150,000 people in the country, with an immense potential still to be developed. As of 2020, the sector represents 25% of Colombia's exports and 9% of the direct foreign investment. And although more than 50% of the territory remains unexplored, Colombia is already Latin America's largest exporter of coal and emeralds, the fourth exporter of ferronickel, and the seventh exporter of copper and gold. And the sector is a significant revenue provider for the country, with over $339 million paid only in royalties just in 2020. Currently, 22 companies listed on TSX are operating in the country, and Colombia has advanced significantly in improving itself as a foreign direct investment destination, among other things by joining the OECD, implementing the Mineral Reserves and Resources Standard, and exercising 16 free trade agreements, among other initiatives. This graphic gives us a better idea in terms of resources and reserves of the main 17 gold projects currently operating in Colombia according to international information standards. I'm going to briefly mention some of them. Buritica is a project operated by Continental Gold that came online in October 2020 with the inauguration of their benefit plant. Continental Gold used to be a Canadian company until March 2020 when they finalized a purchase agreement with Chinese company Zijin. El Roble project is operated by Canadian company Attico Mining, and the Gramalote project is going to be one of our flagship Canadian projects in Colombia in the incoming years. B2Gold is one of the fastest growing Canadian companies in the world right now, and they currently have the Gramalote project, which is going to be the first open pit gold mine in Colombia with an approximate investment of $1.2 billion. They are currently in the process of finalizing their feasibility study, and we expect to have results of that study by the end of the first semester of 2021. Then we have the Marmato project and the Segovian Remedios operations by Gran Colombia Gold, which is also a Canadian company and is currently positioned as the first gold producer in the country. Let's now discuss some of the main challenges for the mining sector in Colombia. First, you have price stability, which is a key common factor internationally, but it's especially important now that key decisions are being made for mining projects in the country. You also have legal stability, which continues to be a challenge in the country. Although you have strong regulations and a government that has shown commitment to promote the growth of the mining sector, some recent decisions by local regulators, and particularly focused in environmental issues, have sent the opposite message to international investors. Then you still have difficulties to obtain social license, which remains a key influential factor. The sector faces great reputational challenge, and there is a need to reverse the decline in the community's confidence in the mining industry. Communication mechanisms need to be reinforced for the people to understand the difference between modern and legal mining against informal and illegal mining operation as a means of promoting greater participation in all stages of the mining projects. We also have security, which remains a key issue due to the resurgence in attacks by criminal groups and to illegal mining operations, which are often, in some cases, directly related to financing of those criminal groups, which of course oppose any formalization process. We also have bottlenecks that remain when it comes to environmental licensing processes, and more recently we saw the Environmental Licensing Agency deciding to archive the request for license of one of the most important mining projects in the country by Arabian company Minesa in their Soto Norte project, which was expected to have an estimated investment of $1 billion. The agency made a decision on the grounds that they did not have the technical expertise to make a substantive decision on whether the license was viable or not. So it is clear that there is a need to build the technical capability of the regulators and the decision makers when it comes to mining. And then, of course, we have Canadian equipment and services providers facing a growing competition from other countries such as the US, China, and Australia. We expect this will continue to grow because now we have Chinese operators in the market, for example, which have shown a preference to work with providers from their own country. Now let's talk about some of the key opportunities that the mining sector offers in Colombia. First, the importance of the mining sector for the Colombian economy, combined with the relevance of the Canadian footprint, offers an opportunity to Canadian firms to enter into the local market that other countries may not have. Second, local authorities and operators see Canada as a reference in terms of technological solutions, sector-focused educational programs, and public policy development, which brings us to our third opportunity, which is Mining 4.0. This is a key area of opportunities because many of the operations in the country lack a lot of sophistication and operational efficiencies, which can now be addressed through technological advancement from mining operators and mining providers. Then we have sustainability and green mining, which is a new theme of interest, opening a new window of opportunities for Canadian clean tech companies with innovative environmental solutions and Canadian experts in environmental management, community engagement, and policy development, among others. And finally, the government just launched its new areas assignation process, which is going to be a new way to bring international interest by organizing rounds and presenting areas with mining potential for which operators will have the chance to compete in a bidding process. This will dynamize the sector and the investment, together with a now digital mining cadastre, which will make the process to manage mining titles much more efficient from the mining authorities. For any details on any of the areas mentioned in this presentation, please do not hesitate to contact the Trade Commissioner Service in Colombia, and we look forward to hear from you and to work for you in develop your business in the country. Thank you very much and have a great rest of PDAC.